Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking, and this video is the November energy update. So this is probably, I don't know, this is one of the biggest months of this year for sure, without a doubt. This is the greatest time to manifest something even larger than Lionsgate that happened on August 8th, or actually, it happened for like a week during August, with the peak being August 8th of this year and every year. But this month of November, for the entire month, is a magnificent time for you to invest in yourself. And so, anything that you invest into starting in this month and continuing for like a 1 year period, um, you're going to see fantastic results. So, this could be you working on yourself, taking classes, or reading books, or learning other new things, going to sessions where you are having healings done, or implants removed, or starting to write a book, trying to get a book published, starting a website, starting a business, starting a partnership, um, anything that you kind of creatively, or it doesn't even have to be creative, but it's creative is what they want me to highlight, is really creative pursuits or business pursuits is kind of what they're tying it into. But anything that you can do this month, start it now. Start your YouTube channel, start your whatever it is. To give you an idea of all the stuff I have going on, Metatron is pushing me like way out of my comfort zone. I am going to be starting a TikTok channel in during the month of November. I forget which date he told me to launch that on, but he was really specific about it. Let me pull up my notes. You don't need to know what I'm doing. You just need to know what you're doing, right? Okay, let me see. Oh, and of course I chatted so long that I lost my place on my notes, so I'll scroll through and find it. But yeah, November is a fantastic manifestation month. I also felt into the energy, so I wrote notes on that I want to share with you. I also have oracle cards that I already pulled, because it takes way too long to pull oracle cards live when it's this many oracle cards. So I have like, I guess you guys can't see it, but I have like a stack of them here that I guess I should make sure they're in the right order, but okay. We're so close. Here we go. November energy update. Okay, so I felt into it kind of 1 week at a time, just to get kind of a general feeling of the energy. Um, the first 6 days of November, 1st through the 6th, it did not feel calm. It felt like a lot of energy. It feels like it would be, it feels like that churning energy. It feels like that stirring up old wounds energy that we've been experiencing at the tail end of October. So I think most of us are still going to be feeling this into that first week of November. Um, it's it's a wave that is clearing trauma. It might be bringing up agitation for some people. It might be bringing up fears. Um, and when I was feeling into it, just to give you an idea of it, my hands were just like shaking, shaking, shaking. So it's just like, ugh, it's like not the energy you want to feel. Okay, so and they were showing me, hey, this is what your body does when trauma leaves your body. If you've ever had like a scary experience, or maybe like a stressful day at work, and then you come home and you try to be still, and your hands are shaking. It's like that nervous energy, or that trauma energy that's trying to exit your body through movement. And so it has a good purpose, but it's probably going to be uncomfortable first week of November. Second week of November. So 7th through the 13th, November 7th through the 13th. It felt like smooth sailing. It was quiet, it was calm, nothing was moving. And then right on November 14th, I got this jolt of energy. I was like, what was that? It's really powerful, high vibrational energy, like an electric shock of resuscitation to humanity. It is from the dragon energies. So, the reason November is a phenomenal manifestation month is because the dragon energies are essentially sitting on all these ley lines on Earth. And they were showing it to me like it wasn't just ley lines, it was like these crossover points where these two lines were hitting each other like a little grid. And so they're sitting on these certain strategic points and they're basically pumping dragon energy into the earth. So dragon energy is synonymous with divine feminine. So it's magic, it's intuition, it's receptivity. It's all these energies that the earth is lacking. So it's being used to kind of try to bring earth back to life. And so one of these really high powered days is going to be November 14th. November 14th, November 14th. So I'm not sure. Oh, he's talking to me. He says it because I was like, I'm not sure if that's gonna like feel good to us or not. And he's saying, no, it's going to. It's gonna be an energizing day, is what he's saying. Um, so that's the 14th. And these manifestation months, just so you know, they come around every 13 months. Every 13 months, like clockwork. So next year in December, same situation. But for now, it's this year in November. Okay, so November 14th. Oh, okay. So they were telling me that because of this massive kind of pump of energy that's going to happen on November 14th, between November 14th and 30th is actually going to be like the ultimate peak time to manifest things. And so Metatron is having me initiate all of these new projects and all of these new investments in between November 14th and the 30th. It's still going to be amazing if you do it November 1st or November 10th or November 6th or whatever. Just letting you guys know though. So take advantage during this time to invest in the long term, the things you want to grow. So I was kind of mentioning earlier that Metatron was having Susan and I basically launch a TikTok channel. I don't know if you call it that. See, this is how like uncool I am. I know nothing about these things. He actually asked me to set up TikTok probably about maybe 6 months ago, and to be honest with you, it's one of the few times that I was like, no. Like I wanted to, and I was like, okay, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. And then I never got around to it, and I was like, I'm being resistant because I don't want to, because I have all these like personal problems around it. I have like fears and insecurities and whatever. So I wasn't doing it. Well, he's bringing it up to me again now. And he's like, well, you're asking me for these things. You need to take the steps I'm asking you to take to get these things that you're asking for. Very reasonable. Um, so now I'm finally listening to him. So TikTok channel is coming in November. He also is having Susan and I launch our Patreon community in November. He's also asking me to write the first chapter of, or I shouldn't say the first chapter. He's asking me to write one of the chapters of one of the books that we're supposed to publish during November. There was one other thing. Oh, we're also, and this is crazy. This is like 1 month we're doing all this in. This is insane. We also are going to be launching a new service. So it's a service where and I should probably read to make sure I say it the way I should say it. New service where music for healing will be custom composed with spirit guides for clients. So that is something that's coming. So basically we're being really aggressive with that investment window, and you should be too. You should be too. And the thing is with this investment window, it's not like you just do something once and you just leave it alone. You invest, you start it, you initiate it now, and then you continue to make efforts into it. I'm going to say for a year. I mean, if this is important to you, you're probably going to do it way past a year. But I'm just saying, if you continue to make efforts towards it every month, to continue to grow it, to continue to take care of this thing that you are working on. In my case, like let's say TikTok. Okay, I start TikTok in November. Well, my job is to keep making videos every single month, right? And so if I do that, I'm going to see in a year's time a much better return than what I was anticipating seeing, because it has that dragon energy infused into it. It has magic infused into it. So you're going to get a beautifully impossible result back for your efforts. Okay, let me pull my notes up. All right. November 15th through the 21st. So remember, I got that big jolt on November 14th. So then after that, 15th to the 21st, I feel additional jolts of high vibrational energy being sent to us. It feels magical and potent. The dragons are showing me that our investments and creations during this time are like dragon eggs to them. They will keep them warm and watch over them, but we have to keep making efforts after that to grow what we have planted. The dragons will multiply those efforts, making our end results much sweeter than they would have been under other timing. All right, and then the last chunk of the month, November 22nd to the 30th, it felt quiet to me again. Excuse me, it feels like it's interesting. Feels like I'm actually clearing some like trauma right now from my throat. Not sure where that's coming from. Um, Actually, I do. You know what? This is kind of funny. Before I got started, I was like, "Hey, do I need any sprays for this?" And they're like, "You need to get Amanda Ellis's throat chakra spray." And I was like, "Oh, why?" I was like, "That doesn't make sense." And they're like, "Oh, it's for you." And so I sprayed it on myself. I guess I have a trauma that needs to come out. Okay, so November 22nd through the 30th, it's like a resting period. This is like an integration time. Recovery is what he's saying. So I think I don't know how many of you celebrate Thanksgiving or some other holiday around that time period where you're spending time around a lot of family. A lot of times people find that it can be exhausting. I hope it's not for you. I hope you have the kind of family that you go to, that they fill you up and you feel like bigger and better and ready to take on the world after you interact with them. But a lot of people have family members that they go to interact with, and it feels like somebody's draining all their energy, and or it's low vibrational energy, and you're like, no, I don't, I don't want that. Or they family members know exactly how to trigger all of the lowest vibrational responses from us. It's amazing. You're like, I'm so evolved. I've been down this spiritual path for so long. I've been working on so much stuff. You go to family Thanksgiving, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I just did the exact same thing that I haven't done in so long, and why did I do that? And just like takes you right backwards. So just just know that your spiritual journey is not this like straight and exact line. It is a lot of back and forth. It is a lot of struggle and then success. Struggle. And so we do this back and forth dance, and Metatron's showing it to me like a sword that's being I don't know what that is. He's like, oh, I guess it's sharpening, sharpening. He's like putting like stones or something against the blade of the sword. It's like sharpening the sword, sharpening the sword. We have to put something difficult on you to sharpen you. Okay, let's take a look at the cards that they picked. Is this the order you wanted them in? He says, yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. I hope I don't confuse these. I'm going to show you what the 7 crystals are that were chosen for this month, for November. I didn't bother to bring examples. So this one is rose quartz. Boy. So you'll definitely need this for the last week of the month, if not the whole month. This is an excellent stone for soothing, for healing, for nurturing, um, for just feeling taken care of. It's like a quiet, peaceful comfort crystal. So rose quartz is it's a nice thing to have around. You don't need a big huge piece. You can just buy like a little tumble piece and hold it in your hand. That works. Although I do notice if you get larger pieces, I do feel more energy coming from larger pieces at times. Not all of them. It's entirely possible to get like something this big that's got way more energy than, something bigger than your head. Empathy. Okay. 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 He's talking about in the beginning of the month when there's all those difficult energies where we're feeling triggered, where we're maybe not on our best behavior. It would be a good idea to have this guy around to help us with our empathy, to help us remember that, okay, this person's acting out. This person is not on their best behavior. This person is not behaving like the best version of themselves. And reminding ourselves, okay, I do this too. There are times where I am the ugly version of myself. And so extending them more grace, being more understanding of the place they're coming from, even though because it's triggering you, it's probably going to feel very like something you really can't understand. Moonstone, crown chakra, transcendence. How funny. Okay, he's talking about transcending your circumstances. That is definitely not the transcendence these people are talking about. Um, Transcending your circumstances, transcending your physical circumstances, your emotions. How do I explain this? It's almost like transcending the 3D-ness of us, because we all have those low vibrational thoughts and behaviors. And this is like, okay, so it talks about crown chakra. This is talking about connecting you to higher energy, focusing on the divine energy that you have access to, that you are divine, to transcend the lower vibrational 3D energies that want to pull you down. Okay, what else do we got here? Ooh, I didn't tell you. Of course, I didn't show you the title of the cards that I'm using. So now I'm going to have to like go grab them so I don't have to list them all in the comments because that takes a lot of time. Okay, this is emerald, as evidenced by that beautiful green color. Mercury, the planet. Cognizance. Okay, cognizance. So, awareness, being cognizant, again, of your behaviors, of your actions, of your words, of your tone, your body language. To be mindful as much as you can be during the difficult times, because that's going to reduce how much you trigger other people's low vibrational stuff too. So it's just going to help keep more balance. Oh, and all these cards are like circling around the same topic. Okay, so this is Larimar. We've got Neptune, and we've got perspective. And okay, so he's showing me blue, communication, throat chakra. So perspective when communicating. So yeah, so he keeps circling the same things. It's like being mindful of your word choice is like what it's coming down to. Keeping a higher perspective. So you remember, so I don't know if you think of it this way. Your throat chakra is actually one of your higher chakras because your heart chakra is like the center of your body. It is like, the middle guy, and then you have 3 in your body below that, and you have 3 in your body above that. And so technically, your throat chakra is a higher chakra. Most people don't think of that. So the way we communicate, the way we use our voices, that chakra itself is just a higher, more divine area. And so keeping the higher perspective, like keeping the crown chakra perspective when we choose to speak. Alrisha star. I don't know what that is. Super 7. I know what that is. Direction. Okay, Super 7 is basically, and it shows you in the picture. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful Super 7. Super 7 is basically, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's 7 different um, minerals or crystals combined into one. Um, one of them for sure is amethyst. It looks like I shouldn't actually name them off. I won't because I don't want to be wrong. But it's amethyst and 6 other crystals combined into one. It's exceptionally powerful because of that. If you don't have access to something like this, it's going to be also very powerful if you use amethyst, or if you use amethyst that has any kind of inclusions. So like Thunder Bay amethyst that has, um, oh gosh, it has like every single inclusion in there because that one has like iron and um, copper and magnesium and hematite and all these things. But if you could do like a Thunder Bay amethyst, or even a regular amethyst, Brandenburg amethyst with that has like the smoky quartz and the clear quartz. Brandenburg is smoky quartz, hematite, and amethyst. Okay, thank you. So those 3. But anyways, any kind of amethyst that you have is going to be helpful for you this month. So direction. This is for help for those of you who are trying to manifest magical things this month. So even if you just use regular old purple amethyst, that'll be great. This is for those of you who want to utilize this month to take a new direction, to start a new journey, to be brave. That's what that one's for. We have black tourmaline, which is the classic protection stone, bringing in Pluto, which is dark energies, regeneration. Oh man, there's definitely more going on to that card than those words. Um, this looks like a gateway. So this is tied into, and it makes sense, it's tied into the Pleiadian gateway, which is essentially, actually, it's 100%, now that I think about it, it is 100% overlapping the month of November from the 1st all the way through the 30th. And it is for the stellar gateway chakra, which is 2 chakras above your head. They're talking about regeneration. Take a look at this. It's almost like a head here with the planet Pluto, and all this gold is like a crown. What are you guys telling me? No, I they're using the word regeneration on the stellar gateway chakra, like being rebuilt, fine-tuned. But literally, some people's are going to be rebuilt. They're showing me a lot of damage. It's like galactic damage from past lifetimes. Did anybody take? No, this is all past lifetimes. This is interesting. It's like some kind of attack a lot of people had. They're showing me something like almost like eating away at the chakra, and the whatever it was is gone, but that damage is still there and it hasn't been healed up. So the Pleiadians are the ones who are going to be working with Earth and the light workers during the month of November. So they're going to be rebuilding that chakra or regenerating that chakra for those who took severe damage. And for those who've taken just like average damage to the chakra, they'll be doing healings on it as well. Final card for the crystals. Clarity, citrine, sun, like our sun god, Ra. Look at all this gold. Look at all that gold. I know it's citrine, but under that is gold, gold, gold. Gold that connects us with our sun god or with God, with creator. Clarity. They're referencing the Lightworker Gateway again because that stellar gateway chakra is like the direct connection to God or creator themselves. And so gold, sun, clarity, clearness of connection to him. So it's just another reference to it. Do we want to do this one? Okay. I'm really considering whether or not to grab those boxes. Gonna do it. Okay, thank you guys for waiting for 1 second here. So this is the card deck that I just showed. The next one is gonna be this guy, Oracle of the Unicorns. Let me do that. I wish you could see like the stuff I have spread out here because I have all these cards and I have not one but 2 orange cats sprawled out and they have no interest in moving whatsoever. That's our first card. Cycles. Do you want... Nope. Okay, cycles. Yikes, yikes, yikes. The energy on this is not the best cycle I've ever seen. Okay. Low vibrational energy. We're cycling through some right now. Right now. And you know what? It's going to keep coming and going because that's kind of the nature of the experiences. We need the ebb and the flow. We need the good times and the bad times. There's a lot of it that gets tied into these full moons. Be aware of that for November. But you can see the butterflies. But this low vibrational experience is needed to transform the dark energy into something lighter. Action. Reference to doing things. That was obvious, right? It's a reference to not just action, new action. Take new action. Don't do the predictable thing that you always do. Try something new. It's scary. It's different. You don't know how it's going to turn out. Take new action. That's what he's very clearly saying. I think that says friendship. Yeah, friendship. No, okay. Interesting. So for some of you, your new action is going to be involved with you joining a community, you initiating communication or a friendship. Yeah, so the new action that's needed for some of you, that's really desirable for a lot of you, or some of you, I should say, is involving relationships, not romantic. Relationships with people of a high vibration, people who can support you. Yeah, that's what he wants. Flow. Oh. Remember I just said ebb and flow? It was like when we flow, it's like all the energy is coming forward and then it ebbs. And then we flow. So flow, that's where we are right now, where the energy is flowing. The energy that's churning like waves, that's kicking up that old sediment on the bottom. That old sediment being our traumas and the other things that we haven't looked at, that we need to look at, that are dark. We can't clear that dark sediment unless we bring it up to filter it out. It's just going to sit there forever. It's not going to disappear. Ooh. Yes, please. Prosperity. It's basically like an open invitation, because if you want prosperity, they're basically laying out the plans for us. They're like, hey, this season is a really good time, but this month is a really good time, but these 2 weeks is a really good time. So you need to do it here, and then you need to keep investing in it. They're literally giving us a playbook. So this is going to come down to kind of this golden energy, this citrine energy of, do you want it or not? Are you going to use your willpower, your solar plexus, to get yourself where you want to go? Or are you just going to sit back and wait and think something's going to happen without you doing something? Remember, without you doing something, and not just anything. New action. Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Abundance. Prosperity and abundance. It doesn't get any better than that. He's showing it to me like, all of our lives growing up, it's felt like all these doors are shut, all these doors are shut. The opportunities don't come around the way you want them to or whatnot. But he's showing me all the doors are open. Things are different now. Don't use your past experience to determine what your future is going to look like. Your past experience was the way your past experience was for a reason. There was value in that. New ball game now. Doors are open. Okay. Whenever I see beloved, it's like it's a Metatron reference. Metatron likes to Metatron and Metatron's soul likes to refer to those he loves, which is like everybody, as beloved. It's like a thing he does. Really positive energy card though, because it's Metatron saying you are loved. And it's like, you can transform. There's all this transformational, magical energy flowing through the air right now. You just need to grab onto it. You just need to take some steps to get where you want to go. And it's like, it's almost like him being supportive, saying, you can do this. You got this. You just got to do it. Doesn't mean it's going to feel comfortable, but you just got to do it. Didn't I just have a card like this? I feel like I'm going nuts. Like all these cards are like, I swear they're duplicates where it's like prosperity and abundance. I just got partnership, and that did not feel that much different from friendship. But I guess this one is more of the friendship card is more of the social partnerships. This feels more like business related. People who you can work with. People who you can collaborate with. Teamwork will give you a better result. Find trustworthy people to partner with. Build up a talented support team. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what other cards you want to do. No. Yes. Okay. Oh, I should tell you what deck this is before I just flash it at you guys. For the love of dragons. And this one is the Sovereign. And so, of course, all of these have dragons in them. The Sovereign. This feels like a reference to God, but I don't... Let me look at the other cards because that by itself is not a message. Okay, so this is the Tender. And the tender one is Metatron. All right, so we got God, we got Metatron. What kind of weird game are we playing here? What else do we have? The Listener. Okay. I'm going to show you all these. If I can. See if I can hold all of these up. I probably can't. Okay, so it's like basically God or Creator and Metatron. They're asking us to listen in to their messages, to their energy. Because during the low points of energy in the month, when it's difficult, you're going to need sanctuary. You're going to need a safe haven from the energies that are going on in your personal life or going on in the world. And there is no better sanctuary than these two. God, Metatron. I mean, Arlo's pretty cool too, but you know. There's no Arlo card. Somebody needs to make a Arlo the Silver Manted card. I guess that's my job, huh? Okay, this one. Okay. So we're using this deck again. White Light Oracle, which... Am I gonna... this might get involved because I'm gonna need the... He said I could. I'm going to use the guidebook because some of the... Oops, sorry guys, just totally knocked you. Some of the oracle cards, most of the oracle cards are really difficult to read energy off of. Although I can actually read a little bit off of that. Is this the one? Okay, let me just see how far I can get without the guidebook. Because the guidebook will have something insightful to say, but maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Okay, this is the first card. So I see we definitely have something going on with the heart chakra here. But the message, Cupio dissolvi, I don't know what that is. I'm going to pull it up. Let's see. It is time to let go. It is time to let go. Things are working out in their own way. Trust that your heart is wise and leading you on a soul healing journey and the right spiritual path. Spirit wants to bring you a blessing and a resolution, but you must let go and allow it to happen. Events are unfolding according to a higher plan. Even if your plans are going awry, know that it will all come together at the right time and in the best way possible. Okay. He's specifically calling out emotional hurts that are stored in the heart chakra, that there are like resentments that are being held onto that are preventing many of us from moving forward, because we're holding on to the resentment, and so we're choosing that same reaction to that person that we have the resentment towards. And we need to release that from the heart chakra to heal it up and to finally give ourselves a chance to have a different reaction. But we have to choose to let it go, to release it, to no longer be a prisoner to it. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, goodness. I don't even know if I'm going to bother trying to pronounce these. I'm just going to look it up where it is in this book. Lasya of Parvati. I don't know why they choose these for me. They like seeing me struggle reading the guidebook. Okay. There is a gentler way to proceed and obtain the same or even greater effect. Tame the wild and frenzied workings of the mind by grounding yourself with beauty, pleasure, and grace. Violence and its negative effects shall be overcome and healed through feminine gentleness and inner spiritual strength. Okay. This ties into that last card. So the last card we were talking about hurts that are causing resentment. For certain people, this might look like anger, angry outbursts, hostile outbursts, hostile behaviors. I hope it doesn't literally mean violence. It could. Tame the wild and frenzied workings of the mind by grounding yourself with beauty, pleasure, and grace. So beauty, pleasure, and grace, grounding yourself with that really means taking care of yourself. So love yourself and focus on the things that you need for yourself in order to prevent you from resenting probably like a partner, maybe a child, maybe a parent, I don't know. To prevent you from resenting someone who you feel should be meeting your needs, because that's actually no one else's responsibility to meet your needs, your wants. That needs to be met in the self, because if you're trying to have it met on the outside of you, and then human beings are human beings and they can't read your mind and they don't know what you need at all times, and so you have needs that are unmet, And as that accumulates over time, resentment can accumulate over time, and now you're in this really bad cycle. Okay. So self-care, self-love. Telepathy of Terra Mater. Man. The pathway for your spiritual fulfillment and the sacred manifestation of your purpose is not necessarily logical and will evolve organically. The skillful and unpredictable workings of the Earth Mother are supporting your soul journey unconditionally. Following up on inspired ideas and allowing for unexpected shifts in direction are integral to the manifestation of your soul purpose. Commit to an idea that feels good to your heart. Even if it seems improbable or unobtainable, it will manifest successfully. Okay, this is like verbatim basically what I've been trying to convey to you guys for the month of November. So it's saying follow up on inspired ideas. So take action, take new action on inspired ideas. Allow for unexpected shifts in direction. Remember we had that card that talked about direction? Allow for unexpected shifts. Don't be so rigid that you don't allow yourself to be in the flow. Remember the flow card? So be a little bit more receptive. Use that divine feminine energy to solve problems. Yeah. Are integral to the manifestation of your soul purpose. Commit to an idea that feels good to your heart. So make sure whatever you're doing, you're not doing it because you're like, oh, that sounds like that'll be successful, or that sounds like that would be, I don't know, bring you glory. I don't know, whatever it is people do things for. Do the thing that makes you happy. Do the thing that brings you joy. Do the thing that you would do for free. Do that thing. That's the thing you should be doing. Okay. These are the weirdest cards with the best messages. Epsilon modulation. Let's see what we got. I probably should have looked at the card. Got a lot of chakra accentuation in these. Gather your energies and go within to regenerate. We had that regeneration card. This is nuts. I love when they do these things. Okay. Gather your energies and go within to regenerate. Let your actions match your inner rhythms rather than trying to force yourself to keep pace with external cues. Commit to your own natural timing and pace. As you ground and connect to your center, you will realize your spiritual power to be at ease in any situation of concern. You have such goodness and light within you. Let go of shaming or blaming. Embrace the spiritual beauty within. Ooh. I feel like when they're talking about let your actions match your inner rhythms, it's like those other cards where we were talking about have perspective and be mindful and be conscious when you're going to speak. Make sure that what you are saying and doing and how you are behaving is matching up with your inner light and not just a reaction of how you feel in a temporary moment. Also talking about commit to your own natural timing and pace. Feels like love yourself, invest in yourself, just like the self-love thing where you have to be authentic to what you need to be your best. And if you're always trying to be on someone else's schedule, you're going to get worn down from that. Why, look who we have here. I'm going to read this card, but I don't even know if we need it because Alcyone, Alpha of Alcyone. Alcyone is one of the 7 Pleiadian planets, and as we know, the Pleiades are sending their energies to Earth during this month. So let's see. Do you want me to? Oh, he says no. Are you good with? He's good with what I said. Okay, so it's just an acknowledgement. It's like a hey from the Pleiades. Hey, Pleiades. Well, that looks interesting. I'm definitely reading this one. Ivory, wish fulfilling crow. Wish fulfilling. That sounds familiar. We were talking about this. You can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping, control, and doubt. Have confidence that the universe hears your prayers and is even now leading you into that which you seek. You can take sanctuary, that sanctuary card, you can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection, God or Metatron, just like I just talked about. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection whenever you need stabilization and protection against the fluctuations of the external world. That's literally what I just said. This is so cool. Okay. No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. So no matter what your life circumstances are, you're like, I can't do XYZ. I don't have the qualifications or whatever. Whatever 3D block you feel like you have, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. It is so. And I feel like this month is almost like, it is the wish fulfilling crow. You have a wish? Go ahead, plant your wish. Let's grow it. Let's grow your wish. All right. Okay, those cards were really cool. Okay, let's see. I have one last set of cards. And it's a new deck. It's new to me. I haven't used it yet. Ooh, I love when anything is shiny ever. So that actually makes me really happy. The Wild Unknown Alchemy deck and guidebook. Am I gonna need the guidebook on this? Some of these are... Am I the only one who does this? Like, I love... Like, this deck, when I saw it, when I flipped through it, I just felt like, oh, those are really cool cards. I could see, like, really amazing messages coming from it. But at the same time, the cards are also out of reach for where I am currently as far as relaying messages. I feel like it's a challenge. It would be a challenge for me to do these. And so you got to sometimes do this where it's like, you want this thing, but you're like, I'm not good at that yet. But you want it, so you have to start, you have to go through that time period of being not very good at it in order to be good at it. So in my case, you just got to get the deck and struggle through the explanations, but it will get easier as you learn, right? Okay. All right. Let's see where we're going. Love the colors. They make me super happy. I'm going to say Uranus because the other word is Uranus. I'm not even sure what that means. Do you want me to... He's like, hold up. Where is the guidebook? Here we go. So there's like a hand on this one, and I'm noticing the gold there in the hand. So that feels like that has relevance. But let's see what... Oh, man. These are like not in alphabetical order. This might have been a bad idea. This might have been a bad idea. Because it makes it really hard to find things when they're not in alphabetical order. And I don't want to take a ton of time. Okay, but I did find this one. Um, Awakening, brilliance, individualism. Don't get attached to Uranus energy. It can lead to a restlessness or chasing of inspiration. Always look for the next best thing. Take its medicine as an occasional blessing. Oh, okay. I feel like I should have like looked this stuff up for you guys before, because this is not giving me the stuff I want. When Uranus strikes, we are in for a surprise, not in the outer world, but in ourselves. What wasn't possible before is possible now. Guys, didn't I just say that? Like, I swear to you, I didn't read this book before. Thanks to Uranus and its ability to shatter our preconceptions. The shift in perspective or identity brings newfound freedom and opens up dormant energy. Okay, remember how I said all the doors were closed? Back before, like we couldn't figure out why we couldn't be, I don't know, successful or have opportunities or do XYZ before, but I was telling you all the doors are closed, but I was saying now all the doors are open, and they're saying that opens up dormant energy, and he's showing me this door like creaking open and this old energy pushing through. For an alchemist, this may be experienced as a long-awaited aha moment or a sudden stroke of genius. Inventions and innovations are born under Uranus energy. The time is now. This card may also appear to show us what is particularly unique about ourselves or another. A seemingly random or idiosyncratic quality may end up being the secret ingredient needed in the laboratory. The alchemist knows that this radical energy isn't sustainable, and so the work is to show up each day, whether Uranus strikes or not. Okay, this is definitely the energy that is churning in the beginning of this month and through the middle, just not the very end. The very last week is like really still. But the rest of the month, this guy's going. Okay, let's see what else we have going on here. So we have melanosis or darkening, got a snake, and we've got a crow. Oh man. I literally should have like marked these off. Oh, the guides are being so good to me right now, like helping me get to these pages. Okay. Depth, readiness, churning. That's interesting because I've been talking about these churning energies. This is getting really interesting. Okay. In alchemy, darkness is an achievement. It indicates the material has been through a significant occurrence, something called an initiatory experience, that has brought it into a state of readiness for the work. The darkness prepares us. Holy cow! Man, who is doing these messages this month? Is this Metatron? Of course it is. My gosh. He's on fire. Okay. The darkness prepares us. So this is an important message because where's that unicorn card I had? Remember that unicorn card I had where it said cycles, and it was just like this dark energy to it, but there was these little butterflies. It was like the darkness prepares us to be the butterfly. We've moved beyond the small talk and chit-chat of the upper world and descended into the psychic layers of the soul. We admit who we are, fully and bravely, and thus open ourselves to the process of transformation. When this card appears, it is not necessarily to delve into what brought you here, the initiation that has caused the embers to char. Rather, it's time to heal. The darkness is in the remedy. Closing your eyes is a voluntary expression of darkening. By practicing it daily, we drop into the depths and surrender. As the alchemist's eye adjusts, transformation begins. So this is really about utilizing the darkness, using darkness to your benefit. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We have all the keys to the castle. We know all the secrets. We should be using the darkness the way Metatron was showing me those stones on the sword to like sharpen the blade. We should be using the darkness to our benefit. Hey, hey, look who showed up. The sun. What a coincidence. Do you actually want me to, I was like looking at Ra and I was like, do you want me to pull up the description on this? And he's like, no. Ra just wants everyone to know he's here. Hello, Ra. Hello, God. Shout out from God. Silly. I see a wolf. Stybus? Antimony. Oh my lord. Guys, which way am I going? I don't even have even a little idea of which way this is. Right to it. Thank you. Okay. In medieval times, antimony became known as the gray wolf of alchemy. This was due to the metalloid's unpredictable qualities and its ability to eat away at materials in the laboratory. Gold is one of the few materials to withstand contact with it. For these reasons, this card must be read with delicacy. On one hand, it represents the wild and free spirit that longs to express itself in the world. On the other hand, it represents a fierceness that can turn destructive or corrosive at the drop of a hat. The message here is clear. Channel the gray wolf's energy towards creativity. Oh. I'm like having this epiphany moment over here. Okay, so the gray wolf, so it's representing like wildness, fierceness, hunger. So this kind of represents our personal darkness, right? And so this is what this is saying is take your personal darkness, take your anger, take your sadness, and channel that into creativity, because that is using the darkness for your benefit, which is what we just talked about. So take all those emotions that you really should not be directing at other people lest you cause conflict, and direct them into your art, direct them into your music, your pottery, your painting, your writing, your singing, your whatever it is you do, dancing, whatever it is you love to do creatively, channel your darkness into that in order to transform it, in order to have it transcend dark. And now, like an alchemist, you have light. This reading is crazy. Who's in charge here? Okay, let's see. Ooh, oil of vitriol. Oh, okay, I'm not even going to try to read that. What is that, like Latin? Oil of vitriol. Guys, I seriously don't know which way to go. This one might take a hot second to find. Oh, is it one of these? If I can't find this quickly, I'm going to be very sad. Very sad. Oh, Lord. Okay. This is why I should have checked what cards I had in the beginning and asked him if he wanted me to use this book, and then place marked them so you guys wouldn't have to wait. He's telling me I can read it without it, but I have doubts. Ha! I found it. I found the page. Okay. Acidity, resentment. We just talked about this. This is nuts. This is the craziest reading. I'm glad this is recorded. Resentment, purification. Okay. When the green lion appears, a great alchemical reckoning is afoot. Long-standing frustration and imbalance cause this regal creature to lash out unconsciously, consuming all in its path. Be prepared for emotional turmoil as the lion thrashes about. Don't worry, these changes are necessary for growth, and in the end will be a relief to all. Purification is the lion's aim, and it's determined to get there one way or another. When this card appears, the question must be asked, am I the green lion or the sun? The one consuming or the one being consumed? It is said that finding oneself in the mouth of a lion is a necessary moment on any spiritual path. As the discomfort passes, the sunbeams shine all the brighter. I feel like this is just reinforcement on the messages that have already come through. Also, it's just emphasizing that there is unprocessed anger, unprocessed frustration, unprocessed resentment in this collective, in the individuals who watch this channel. This is speaking to you. This is speaking to us. And that it's just like the wolf card. It's just like the antimony card, because it's very dangerous to have these wild, intense emotions being unchecked. You have to start mastering them. And one of the ways to master them is to find a way to get them out. So either by creativity, or in this case, this guy is expressing, right? He's vocalizing. That's how he's getting it out. So for some of you, this could be like screaming into a pillow. For some of you, this could be writing a really nasty letter to someone that you never give to them, or journaling, because you're just trying to get the feelings and emotions out. That's what it feels like to me, because I don't think when you have this level of low emotion, I don't think you can constructively communicate with people. So I think you have to discharge it first. Smoke. All right. Let's see if I can find these. Okay, but seriously, I feel like I'm so close. He says, you're fooling yourself. Smoke is us fooling ourselves. Where is this Metatron? Oh, there it is. Smoldering, warning, illusion. Smoke is a tantalizing phenomenon, stealth-like and seductive. It swirls and twists, rising and disappearing. It travels great lengths with its signature scent, warning of a flame somewhere in life's laboratory. Such is the nature of the smoke card. When present, the senses are aroused and enticed, yet the warning of fire cannot be ignored. What kind of smoke is it? Was the fire intended? A ritual or an accident? Does the smoke carry notes of incense and herbs? Or is it laced with the fear-stricken scent of destruction? The smoke card asks us to wake up, to become alert to what is happening around us. Something burns. And when I read that, I heard, and it's you. We'll talk about that in a second. Those around you may fall under smoke's seduction, or they may flee in panic. Don't get distracted by their response. Stay in your own laboratory and see what emerges as you study the smoldering veil. Okay. He's showing me fire inside of someone. So it's a toxic emotion. It's anger. It goes back to the resentment, the anger and the resentment. You see smoke because there is fire, and the fire is inside you. And he said in the beginning, he said to me, you're fooling yourself. So some of us are like, I'm not angry. I got over that. I'm not mad. But it's there. You're not aware of it. So that's why it's talking about when present, the senses are aroused and enticed. Oh, I can't find the spot again. But here we go. The smoke card asks us to wake up, to become alert to what is happening around us, is what this is, but it's really in us. Become alert to what is happening in you, because on the outside, it's coming out as a little bit of tone, a little bit of irritation, but there's this huge fire that it's coming from, and you're not aware that you're on fire. And so that needs to be resolved. So that's what that one is referencing. All right, we've got, man, they chose a lot of cards. Got 6 more cards. All right, let's do this. Let's see if I can find 6 more cards on here. Neptune is the next card. The message says, Neptune is the mystic's planet. Its transcendent energy projects towards the heavens. When the Neptune card appears, the seeker archetype is activated and doorways to new dimensions open. A voice whispers from beyond the earthly plane, perhaps calling you to a pilgrimage, hey, or new spiritual practice, right? New action. Or you may experience a meditative bliss beyond your wildest dreams. Divinity has arrived, whether you call it nirvana, samadhi, enlightenment, or just good old serenity. Amidst your spiritual awakening, remember that ultimately the work is not about you. The work is about what's bigger than you. Stay grounded in that reality, and you're likely to avoid Neptune's pitfalls of narcissism and escapism. History shows us examples of spirituality turned madness, so keep your woo-woo tendencies in balance with a little selfless service, is what that says. Okay. Divinity, mysticism, seeking. I have to tune into this. I feel like I'm not grabbing the connection that they want me to make. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Ra is actually trying to communicate through this one. So you see like the prayer hands, like praying to God. You see like the gold, which I associate with Creator and with Ra. And he's showing the energy of that. How funny. He's like, he wants people to communicate with him. He wants people to reach out to him directly, not just guides. Whether it looks like praying or not, it could just be talking. You don't have to be praying necessarily. But he's kind of the keeper of all the mystic knowledge. So it makes sense to tap into that. All right, I'm going to see if I can go through these. So Pluto is a reference to the darkness. You can see like with the skulls and the spider web. So this is just a reference to the dark energies that are coming up right now. And to use them to our advantage. Okay, the next card is silver. Silver is used for emotional healing, but let's see what they have to say about it. They say silver is tied to lunar energies, being reflective. Amidst its upper echelon status, silver shines eternally in second position. It is the lesser sibling, the one that's not quite there yet. A true alchemist does not resist this truth, but rather studies its subtle implications and its wisdom. Silver requires polishing, or the surface tarnishes over time. Mirrors require cleaning, or the image clouds and distorts. Whereas gold sustains its own malleable radiance, silver asks for our participation. We must work at it. Don't give up now. Silver wants to build relationships. Like the moon, a mirror or a poem, let it reflect an image back. With an open heart and one more moment of willingness, the seemingly cold, stark surface of silver opens into the imaginal realm. What is there? Your own vastness? The mysteries that beckon you on moonlit nights? Through our daily devotion to silver, we find the truest gold. Okay. For all of the investments made this month, this is just talking about working at it, working at it, working at it. If you invest and you just leave it and you don't touch it, it's going to tarnish. He's given the warning right up front. Oops, sorry. Ash. Okay, let's see what we have here. Ash represents what has come before it. The fire is now over. We were talking about smoke and flames earlier. And its flames took with it all recognizable form of what was burned. Only memories and a soft gray ashen substance remain. When this card appears, look back and sift through what has occurred. You are in the realm of ancestors, past relationships, and those that have passed to another realm. Be gentle with the process, as it is delicate and sacred. The Ash card asks us to tend to the true nature of endings, grief, and letting go. We mentioned letting go. You may be asked to be present with others experiencing loss. When in doubt, be like ash. It is silken, light, and easily carried by the wind. So this is talking about that like divine energy of being flexible and being in the flow. Soften into the memories and into the tears. Eventually forgiveness follows and the heart travels alight. Okay. So for all those heart traumas that are causing resentment that he's been talking about like this entire time, soften into the tears. So he's talking about surrender, being part of this process. Probably at the end, just like this card is at the end of this deck, where you've gone through the process where you've, we had that card with like that green lion where he was expressing himself to get it out. We had the wolf card where he was expressing himself creatively to get it out. once you put the fire out, or to help you put the fire out. You might need to cry because ultimately that anger and resentment comes from a place of hurt. Hurt is the root cause. And so tears would be completely appropriate. Ooh. I don't even need to look this one up. Chiron. But I will look it up. I will. Chiron is about being wounded and healing the wounds. That's exactly what we're talking about right now. Chiron is a cosmic enigma. In Greek mythology, he is said to be the rejected son of Saturn, who thought the pain of abandonment becomes a great teacher and who through the pain of abandonment becomes a great teacher and healer. Such is the paradoxical nature of this minor planet. It demonstrates that our pain is a great resource. Okay, this is important. Our pain is a great resource because we're talking about using the darkness for light. It will guide us to our deepest purpose if we are able to observe it slowly, gently, and with support. When the Chiron card appears, know that you are being called to deepen the work, to delve into tender parts of yourself that require patience and forgiveness. Victim mentality will get you nowhere. Your past blaming. That was on another card too. It was talking about no more blame, no more shame. It's time to let your painful experiences serve as a beacon of light to others. Chiron reminds us of where we've been and where that allows us to go. All right, final card, guys. This has been a crazy reading. Leucosis, lightning. We've got a snake. All right, let me see if I can find this last one for you guys. Oops. Here we go. Okay. Perfectionism, facade, hesitation. Oh, this one applies. Okay. The stage of leucosis is a complex topic in alchemy. On one hand, it represents purification of the materials. On the other hand, it's the phase in which the alchemist may mistake the work as complete. On the surface, everything seems perfect, pristine, well thought through, and quite complete. In actuality, the alchemist has been tricked by their own facade of perfection. Their work has hardly begun. Righteousness and fear are the great errors of leucosis. This card arrives to remind us to get our hands dirty. No one is separate from or above anyone else. Rather, every alchemist is a kid in the laboratory, tinkering away with the elements of their life. No more fretting over your next move, fearing how others will perceive you. It's time to crack open. Become who you are. The world needs your true colors. It's the card of asking everybody to step into who they are and who they came to be. It's also the card of, you know how we do so much work on ourselves and we're like, well, I must be done. I must have purged all the trauma. And then there's always more. We always get this next rolling through of low vibrational energy. And every time we're shocked, we're like, wait, this is making me feel bad. Why is this bringing up stuff for me? It's because there's always something else, right? We're never done. It's never complete. It's never perfect. It's a cycle. Just like a snake sheds its skin in cycles. And he's showing me all of us shedding our skin right now. But it's not a painless process. It's more like a labor. It's more like birthing. We're painfully removing these old parts of us to get to something new. And so this is a worthy endeavor, and this is something that we continue to go through this month of November. That is everything I have for you guys. I hope you got a couple different things from this reading, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.